I want to thank the folks of East Palestine. I want them to understand that we're not going home no matter what till this job is done. And it's not done yet. There's a lot more to do. The vast majority has been done. But we're going to stay to the very end till every need is met.
That was February of last year. You know, it took Joe Biden a year to show up in East Palestine. Fast forward to today. And not only have the needs of residents of East Palestine, Ohio, not been met, they're now also learning they have been lied to on a dangerous, catastrophic scale.
Newly released emails show that while the Biden administration was telling the public there was nothing to worry about, the White House was internally conversing with FEMA, expressing exactly the opposite. Here's just one of their private concerns. Quote, the occurrence of a cancer cluster in East Palestine is not zero. And as you all are aware, the first 48 hours of the fire created a really toxic plume.
This cancer cluster, along with other health issues, were addressed in an unmet needs report, which the Biden administration never released to the public.
These emails are now coming to light thanks to one of our guests, Lesley, Pacey, Chief Environmental Officer at the Government Accountability Project, who sued to get these documents released. She joins us now, along with East Palestine resident Linda Murphy. Lesley, let's go right to you first. Lay out the evidence that you had to file suit to get. Lay it all out.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you for having me and for staying with this important story. I know you've had at least 3 of our whistleblowers in East Palestine on your program, and we really do appreciate your coverage. We can't do what we do without them, for sure, and without good news coverage. So thanks for doing that. What these emails are showing is that FEMA knew very early on that there was potential for cancer clusters and a need for 20 years of medical monitoring in East Palestine. They knew that they needed to lay out what they said was a tripwire to detect and track these cancer clusters. And they never told the public, and they never told the media. So we filed a FOIA pretty early on for the information, and it was just taking forever to come in. So we ended up suing FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security for this information, and then it finally started trickling in, and we couldn't believe what we saw.
Linda, good to see you again. How are you? And what do you need now?
You know, thank you guys so much for having me back on again. Answers would be a great start. Clarity. One thing we've gotten from the beginning that there hasn't been any shortage of is lies and lip service. That's been a constant. I knew from the beginning, and I said it early on, that this just seemed like a massive cover-up. Mm-hmm. We had EPA agents here and some other folks here that it just seemed like they were running a script and just saying things. But if you badgered and you really got down into the meat of it and pushed for answers, they couldn't answer it. I mean, you can see the debris there that you guys are showing. We just don't have a spill. We've got a fire. We've got fumes. We've got chemicals leaking into the soil, making their way into the groundwater. You know, this is nothing to be taken lightly. And I think that it is something so catastrophic and so beyond the scope of a usual disaster that they just don't know how to handle it, and they don't want to address it. So right now we're just waiting. It's a long-term game. The answers will reveal themselves in time, just like these cancer clusters that they're fully aware, you know, that East Palestine is at very, very high risk for. How could we not be? How could we not be?
You know, Lesley, I'll get right to it. There's a cancer registry for firefighters. We saw what happened after 9/11. Government knows, the American people know, that there you have to track these incidences. Was this incompetence and deliberate or indifference combined?
It feels and appears to be more than incompetence. It appears to be a coordinated government cover-up. If you look at the CDC memo that just came out a few days ago, telling healthcare providers to not test for or treat chemical illnesses, and this was a month after the derailment. And then you look at this set of emails between FEMA officials, NIH, the White House, the National Security Council, just not wanting to tell the public what they know. It does feel like a coordinated cover-up.
Linda, final word from you.
Well, I'd like to thank Lesley as well. I mean, she has really been important part of what is going on here and uncovering the truth. And we're so lucky to have her doing everything that she is doing for us. And we're lucky to have you guys as well, giving us an opportunity to be heard. So this isn't pushed under the rug. There's a lot of things that need addressed, and people are still very, very concerned. You know, Mr. Trump, President Trump spoke on April 14th. And I heard it, and I was a little disheartened when he said, "I love Mayor Trent Conaway," and that he has been helping him. I don't know what that looks like. We have not seen that here. And what we have gotten from the mayor has been more than standoffish. So it's a little disheartening. And then when you see that our Ohio, one of the Ohio EPA players, Ann Vogel, ended up getting promoted to a federal position around that same time, April 14th or April 15th, it makes you wonder, does anybody really care? Is this still a problem, or is this being ignored? Because it certainly feels like it's being ignored, and we feel like we're being ignored. Life goes on. We have to live it. Yep. But that fear is still deep down in us of what the future holds.
Linda, you are not ignored, not by Lesley,
forgotten.
not by Lesley Pacey, and not by us. Linda Murphy, we will see you soon, I'm sure, and Lesley Pacey. Thank you both.